Okay, so welcome everybody to this workshop. This workshop is called Professionalism on Set, and it's part of our series of contact workshops that we're doing at the moment. So in case you don't know who I am, my name is BB and I am the new Talent Experience Coordinator here at Contact. And so a large part of my work is to essentially ensure that you guys have all the skills, the tools, the guidance, and the support that you need to succeed here at Contact. So we're actually having this workshop today in response to some feedback that we've had both from you guys, our creatives, and also from our bookers as well. We want to ensure that you guys know how to kind of act and behave on set, so that, you know, bookers will want to book you again and again. So that is the reason why we're having today's workshop. And really, ultimately, we're going to share some kind of top tips, some sorts of do's and don'ts with you, and then hopefully be able to answer any questions that you guys may have about how, you know, being on set actually works, you know, especially as you guys continue to improve and go on within your career as models. So let's get started then. So, like I said, this is what we're going to be covering today. So, we're going to first of all look at what is professionalism, why is it important to be professional. I've kind of hinted at that already, but we're definitely going to go more into that. And like I mentioned, some do's and don'ts whilst on set, and then I'm going to open the floor for any questions at all that anyone may have. So, yeah, let's get started. So first things first, what is professionalism? I think the kind of bog standard definition of it is essentially presenting yourself to be of good behavior, to, you know, not just for yourself, but to everyone who's kind of around you. It's super important, obviously, as a creative, you know, as a model or as a photographer or hair and makeup artist on set. It's super important to be professional, because that is a professional environment, right? You're there for work purposes. It's not a leisure occasion. It's a work occasion. So it's important to be professional in such an environment. And, you know, as a creative, that means doing everything that is expected of you whilst on set. So it's being polite, it's showing good behavior, and it's really making sure that you're getting along and doing all, like I said, that is expected of you, you know, in terms of kind of, you know, on the day, on the shoot day. So it's really important to be professional, but we're going to go a little bit deeper into why. So why is it important to be professional on set? You know, the simple truth is this, you know, every time you're on set, you're building your reputation, you're building your legacy, if you like, as a creative. People don't like to work with difficult people, believe it or not. People like to work with people who are easy to get along with, who do what they need to do, who are alert and, you know, are able to help them kind of get everything done on time. That is super important. So every time you're on set, you are building a reputation. You know, bookers talk, you know, agencies talk, brands talk. You know, they kind of, you know, when someone is difficult to work with, they kind of get blacklisted in a way. There is the possibility to get blacklisted if you are difficult to work with, if you don't show up on time, if, you know, whilst you're on set, you're being a distraction. You know, these things will be flagged as issues, and it will definitely deter you from getting bookings in the future. And obviously, you guys know that here at Contact, we're all about trying to give you guys access to as many opportunities as possible. So this is, you know, this workshop is really about what you guys need to be doing on your part to ensure that, you know, bookers will want to come back to you and rebook you over and over and over again. So that is what we're really looking at here. So this is why it's really important for you all to kind of pay attention, and make sure that you are either doing these things that we're suggesting today or not doing these things that we're suggesting today. So yeah, let's jump straight into it with the 7 kind of do's on set. Obviously, there's so many things, but we've kind of put together a list of what we think are kind of the most important things to be doing on set as a creative. So number 1, ask questions. It's super important that you ask questions. I mean, our platform has made it so easy, so accessible for you to drop the book at any kind of questions you may have beforehand, before you show up, before you arrive. If there's anything that you're kind of concerned about, definitely do ask questions. The worst thing for you as a creative is to show up on the day and, you know, there's just so much that you're confused about. There's so much that you're unclear about, right? It doesn't help you to perform at your best. So we really do recommend asking questions beforehand. But even when you arrive on the set on the day, you know, also don't be afraid to ask questions. If there's anything you're unclear about, you want to know where something is, you want to know who it is you have to speak to, please do ask questions. It will help you to better prepare yourself for the day ahead of you, and will just mean that, you know, anything that you may be concerned or worried about can kind of be squashed before you start, so that it's not something that's kind of niggling at the back of your brain. So definitely do that, and that's something we encourage here. So do not be shy, and make sure that, you know, you're able to deliver at your very kind of best, at your optimum, so that, you know, the day can go as smoothly as possible. The second thing then is to obviously show up for your shoot. I mean, it seems very simple, but, you know, you wouldn't believe how many, you know, creatives we booked for things and they've just not showed up. They've not told anyone they're not going to show up, and this is such an important point to note, especially when we think about this whole reputation building aspect of it. You know, not showing up for your booking reflects really badly on you as a model and you as a photographer, or you as a hair and makeup artist. It reflects so badly on you. And if you're thinking about being rebooked and, you know, working with brands, you know, on maybe a long-term or more regular or consistent basis, then you need to make sure that you're showing up, and you know, you're there. You know, and even if it is a case of, okay, you're running late, or there's some delay, that, you know, something that was out of your control, or even if you won't be able to show up for whatever reason, just communicating that to a member of the team will at least help to soften that blow a little bit. But it's really bad behavior when, you know, a creative just doesn't show up for a shoot. It doesn't speak well of you, and like I said, it will kind of disrupt the whole day, because, you know, it's hard to find a replacement so last minute. So there are real consequences for this. So really do try your best to always show up for your shoot, on time preferably, so that, you know, everything, like I said, can go ahead as smoothly as possible. So please do. And if you can't, then definitely let somebody know that, you know, of what the situation is. That's just basic etiquette, and that's just the basic kind of level of respect, when you're working within the industry. So, like I alluded to there, the third point here is to always be on time. I mean, I'd recommend that you actually arrive between 50 to 30 minutes before your call time. Again, just in case you want to ask any questions that you might have, that anything you might be worried about. And again, just to be able to familiarize yourself with where you're going to be shooting today, you know, find out where the toilets are, you know, find out where you can get some food, or whatever the case may be. Just having that time to kind of settle down, so you're not arriving on set and instantly being, you know, pushed into the chair to get your hair and makeup done. You know, you have that kind of time to kind of relax and unwind, and, you know, get yourself together before the long day ahead. I think it's really important to just have that calm period, you know, that calm before the storm, if you like. So it's really important to be on time. And again, it speaks so well of you, if you can kind of get yourself to a place on time. I mean, that just shows that you are a professional, and that, you know, you are very organized as well, which is what bookers want to really see. So do always try your level best to always be on time, and like I said, build in that extra buffer time as well. So, you know, if a shoot is set for, you know, 10 a.m., you know, aim to be there, you know, 9:45 latest. Just really try to get into the habit of building in that buffer time, so that, you know, you can really ensure that you're really leaving a good first lasting impression, on, you know, the team that you'll be working with. So always do bear that in mind. So up at number 4 is to have everything that you need. Again, this might seem like common sense, but you wouldn't believe how many creators will show up to a shoot, they haven't actually read, the call sheet properly, and so they end up not having half of the things that the booker would have requested that they bring with them on set. Okay, so please, please, please make sure you read the call sheet to ensure that you have everything that you need. And it's really as simple as packing your bag the night before, so you're not faffing around on the morning of the shoot. Pack your bag, make sure everything that you need is there. It might be, like I've put here in the presentation, it might be that you need to bring some nude shapewear with you. It might be that you need to bring a certain type of shoe. It could be anything, right? So just make sure that you have everything that you need, so that as you go into the day, that okay, at least that side of thing is sorted. You're not kind of running around trying to find things and last minute and everything like that. Again, just to ensure that the day actually goes smoothly, and then the whole kind of entire process of the shoot just really goes on well. When everyone has everything that they need, you're able to kind of just do the day without any hiccups or any issues or any delays as well. Because yeah, that's something that maybe is taken for granted. If people don't have what they need, then that will cause delays, meaning that the shoot will go on longer, which means that could impact other kind of plans that you may have, other activities that you might want to do as well. So it's really, really important to show up equipped, ready with everything that you need so that the day can go as smoothly as possible. In number 5, we have to take instructions. Definitely do take instructions. I mean, whenever you come on set, you're going to be surrounded with a team, right? People who are directing the shoot, people who will be helping you along the way, whatever. It's really, really important to take instructions, because obviously it's their shoot, right? They're the ones with the ideas. They have the dream and the vision, as to what they want to bring to life. So it's super, super important that, whilst you're on set, you're paying attention to the instructions that you're being given, and just taking directions on board. I know, obviously, in a room of creatives, there's so much creativity, there's so many ideas. But as a professional, it's important to know kind of what you're there for, and remember that you're here to execute. A bigger kind of vision, if you like. So it's really, really important just to take instruction, so that again, so that the day can go as smoothly as humanly possible, and everything that needs to get done can get done. That is really what we want at the end of the day. So please, please, please do take instructions. Make sure you're listening. Make sure you're paying attention to what people are saying to you, so that it can be a fantastic, fantastic day on set. And then the next one, number 6, is to speak up. This is, a really, 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 really important one. If there is anything that is making you feel uncomfortable, anything that you're unsure about, it's really, really important to speak up. Why? Because your health and safety always comes first. So if you're made to feel uncomfortable by anybody, please express that to someone, either on set or a member of the contact team. We're definitely here to help you, and we would never want you in a situation where you do feel uncomfortable. So please, 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 if you're on set, please, please, please do speak up. I think that is part of being a professional. It's not, we never want, like I said, we never want to put you in a situation where you feel uncomfortable or you're unsure about anything. So please, 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 if anything that's always making you feel anything that's making you feel uncomfortable, please do just speak up. That is something that we always, always encourage. And like I said, that is part of professionalism, speaking up when something isn't right. That's the sign of a professional, right? So it's really, really important. And like I said, we always encourage that here on the contact team. So please do not hesitate to get in touch. And finally, for the do's, we have communicate any changes. So many creatives forget to do this, and I actually received this point directly from our bookings team, because it is something that they've experienced time and time again. So if you are, for whatever reason, kept on set longer, then you guys deserve to be paid for your overtime. However, if you do not communicate that to us, then we cannot invoice that to the client. Okay, so on set day, things sometimes do change. A new concept comes up, or they want to try a new idea. That's absolutely fine, but that could mean that you are spending longer on set than originally planned. So in that instance, what we would encourage you guys to do is to let us know, so that we can add that onto your invoice, because your time, you deserve to be paid for your time, and your effort and your energy. So please do communicate any changes that may happen whilst on set. That's something that's really, really important to feed back to us, just so that we can ensure that everything is as it should be. So please, please, please do communicate any changes, so that we can help you and support you with that. Because obviously, like I said, we're here to support you guys. We're here to offer you as much guidance as possible. So please, please, please do let us know if anything is different from the original kind of agreed concept or the agreed idea. Something, another example of any such changes could be, for example, in terms of usage. So usage is to do with, okay, how the agency or the brand is then going to go on to use the content. So if they had agreed to maybe 6 months of usage, and then now they're telling you that they want to use your content for a year, now that's a change that needs to be communicated again, so we can address it with them and get you paid for your work. So that's what we're ultimately here to do, but we can't do that if you guys do not communicate to us. So please, please, please do communicate any changes at all to us, so that we can help you get that all sorted. So now we're going to move on to the 7 don'ts on set. Now, please, please, please pay some really, really close attention to these, because these are problems that our bookers have identified and have communicated back to us as being issues. So we want to make sure that you guys are behaving as appropriately as possible on set. So the first one is to bring someone on set without permission. I mean, this might sound, a bit out there, but trust me, it does happen. For example, if a model has like a brother or sister, and the photographer on the day is some amazing celebrity photographer, for example, that their sibling is wild about, and we've had models just show up with their siblings on set without permission, and it's kind of made things a little bit awkward, right? So please, please, please don't assume you can bring someone on set with you without asking. I mean, always ask. I mean, the worst they can ever say to you is no, right? And that's not the end of the world. But please, please, please do ask. If you're thinking about bringing someone on set with you for whatever reason, please, please, please do make sure that you've got express permission from either the booker, from the brand, from the agency, whatever, or even communicate that to us, and we can ask on your behalf. But please, please, please do get permission, because just showing up with someone without permission on set can make you come across as really unprofessional, and again, it will deter bookers from wanting to work with you next time. So it's really, really important that you do have that permission, so that that person will also understand and know the behavior that is expected of them whilst they're on set as well. So please, please, please do ask permission. Secondly, no smoking or eating. This is kind of more specific maybe to the models, but the essential idea here is that obviously while you're modeling, or you're wearing people's clothes, you're wearing the brand's clothes, or whatever the case may be, we want to ensure that you give them back over to the brand or to the stylist in the exact same condition that you received them in, right? So it's really, really important that you're not smoking in these clothes, you're not eating in these clothes, just so we can kind of preserve them, right? And make sure that they look as as good as you got them. So it's really, really important to avoid these behaviors whilst you're in the clothing. Obviously, if you're on your break or whatever, then you're wearing your own clothes, that's absolutely fine. That's your choice. But whilst you're in the client's clothing, it's really, really important that you avoid these behaviors, again, just so that the client will be happy, the brand will be happy, that they'll receive their clothing the exact same way that they gave them over to you. It's so that they're going to be happy about that. So just just something to kind of bear in mind, to kind of note kind of as you go forward. That is not professional behavior. That is completely unacceptable behavior, and is not something that we would encourage here at Contact. The next thing is to take tags of clothes. Again, maybe this is more model specific, but yes, when a stylist hands over clothes, sometimes they still have the tag in it, and the stylist often leaves that in intentionally, right, for whatever reason. As the model, please, please, please leave all the tags on the clothes that you're given. Don't try yanking them off or whatever the case may be. Just literally, like I said before, you want to return the clothes in the exact same condition that you received them in. So if the clothes came over to you with tags on, then definitely leave the tags on. There's probably a good reason why the tag is still on. So please, please, please do just leave it at exactly as you got it and hand it back over to the stylist or the brand in the exact same condition you got it. Just to, because obviously you don't know the reason why the tags may still be on the clothes. So just to kind of keep things, the way that they should be, and just make sure everything goes over without a hitch, just please do take the tags off the, please don't take the tags off the clothes, just to ensure that, everyone's happy at the end of the day. Next is hands off. I've called this one, and I called this one hands off because again, as a creative, it can be very tempting to want to influence either the hair, the makeup, or the clothing, whatever it might be. But whilst you're on set, you have these professionals that will put the set together for you. So they'll decide on the clothing, they'll decide on what your hair will look like, and they'll decide on what your makeup look should be, right? So that's what they're there for. So as tempting as it might be, as the model, please, 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 just don't touch anything. Don't try to alter anything, don't try to add anything. Please just kind of leave it the way that they have supplied it, if you like. It's really, really important, again, because they're there to execute a vision, right? So just try to lay hands off, and do your best to kind of, like I said, cooperate and collaborate with everybody on set. Because I have heard stories about makeup artists spending 3 hours doing a model's look, and then she turns around, and by the time she sees the model again in front of the camera, it's like, oh, how did that get there, or I didn't put that, or that's not the look. So it's really, really important, because there is a bigger plan in place, that you just kind of hands off, don't touch anything that's been kind of done to you, to your hair, to your makeup, in terms of the clothes, whatever. Don't touch anything. Just kind of leave it as it is. And with that being said, though, if there is anything that you're concerned about, that you're worried about, then definitely do voice it. I'm not saying don't voice it, but just don't touch anything without the express permission of the professionals that you're working with on set. It's really, really important that you bear that in mind. Next, stay off your phone. Now, this one is a huge one. I know that for creatives, it can be so exciting going on set, being able to see everything, and everything looks so great and fantastic. And, you want to be recording it, you want to be showing it on your Instagram. I totally, totally get that. However, please do not post any kind of behind the scenes on socials. Don't be posting any videos or anything like that, any pictures or anything, without asking first, without permission. Why? Because you guys sometimes work on a lot of exclusive kind of products, product lines that haven't come out yet necessarily. So it is kind of top secret, hush hush. And so you posting kind of behind the scenes and stuff, it could kind of leak that earlier than planned. So it's super important that you kind of stay off your phone. Now, like I said, when I say stay off your phone, that's not to say that you can't be on Instagram, or you can't be on Twitter, or checking your messages, or whatever the case may be. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is kind of posting any content without the express permission of the brand or agency or the booker or whoever it is that you're working with. It's super, super important, and part of professionalism. And yeah, and like I also included there, it's never a good look to kind of be sitting on your phone all day, right? You're on set, you want to make sure you're able to be alert, to be paying attention to what everyone's saying, to be able to listen to kind of direction. So you with your head stuck in your phone is not ever a good look. So just do your best, and please, please, please do stay off your phone and do not post anything without the express permission of, the people that you're working with there on the day. So please do bear that in mind. Number six is to avoid getting in the way. Do your best not to kind of hang around on set, chatting to the other models and things when you're supposed to be actively doing something, right? So this all ties in with kind of taking directions and making sure that, everything goes as smoothly as possible on the day. Okay, so do try not to distract other people, get in the way, because 9 times out of 10 you always have to be prepared to jump on set whenever needed. The director might have had, the call sheet and everything like that, but there could be last minute changes. So you want to make sure that you're always kind of ready to go. So you need to be alert. So you can't just be hanging around chatting and getting in the way and distracting people, right? So it's really, really important that you get that, under control, because that's a huge part of being a professional. A professional is always ready to go, and is always there to kind of make sure that things are going as smoothly as possible. So please, please, please avoid getting in the way on set days. And finally, number seven, for don'ts, don't leave the set. Again, might seem super simple, but please do not leave the set until the director or the lead on set tells you that you're free to go. This is so important, because sometimes, like I said, directors can sometimes have this new burst of energy, and then they'll think of a whole new concept and a whole new idea, and they're like, oh, can we try this out, can we do this, can we experiment with this, and so it's really important that you stay on set until they're like, okay, we're done, we're finished for the day, because again, just to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible, and that we get all the different shots in that we're supposed to get. So that's essentially why it's so, so important to not leave and not walk away until you've actually been cleared to leave by the director or by whoever's running the day. Again, just like I said, just ensure that everything gets done exactly the way that it really, really needs to be. So those are our 7 don'ts then, whilst you're on set, in order to be perceived as a professional. So to kind of summarize everything I've said, the essential point, the essential takeaway from all of this is that, the way you act and the way you behave on set, like I said right at the beginning, is all building your reputation as a creative, as a model, as a photographer, as a hair and makeup artist, right? It's all part of building your legacy. So it's really, really important that you're, building something worthwhile, something that's, something that's strong, and something that will keep bookers coming back to you again and again. So that's why it's so important to ensure that you're showing up professional every time you're on set, just so you can, build those networks, build those relationships, and so that, you'll get to the point where bookers are wanting to rebook you and work with you again, because you were such a pleasure to work with. So that's what we're aiming towards. And in addition to that, of course, you guys should know that, every time you go out on, on a job that you've acquired through our platform, you're also representing us, right? So you're an extension of us on set as well. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're leaving a good impression, not only for yourself but also for contact, because then we'll be able to further support you guys and further give you kind of more access to a lot of amazing opportunities. So please, please do bear that in mind. So I know I've said an awful lot in that segment there, but now I'm going to open the floor to any questions at all that anyone might have. Please feel free to unmute and just shout out your question, or if you prefer, feel free to drop your question in the chat box as well. So does anybody have any questions based on what we've discussed in today's workshop? Any questions at all? Okay, so I'm going to take that as a no on the questions, which hopefully, which either means that I've explained that incredibly well, or that I've made you made you more confused than you were before. But as ever, if you do have any questions, if anything else comes up, then definitely do be sure to drop me an email. Again, in case you missed it at the beginning, my name is Bibi, and my role is the Talent Experience Coordinator here at Contact. So my email is simply bb@contact.xyz. So that's just two B's at contact.xyz. So that's my email. Always happy to help you guys with any questions you might have, any concerns you might have. Yeah, always happy to help you guys with anything from kind of updating your portfolio to, you know, asking questions about castings, bookings, all that sort of stuff. I am here to help. So if we don't have any more questions on the floor, then I'm more than happy to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your afternoon, the rest of your days. Well, thank you so much, Zainab, for that. Really appreciate you guys for spending the time with me this morning. So yeah, I hope you have a really wonderful rest of your day. And like I said, any questions at all, please do shoot them my way. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day.